U.S. pharma giants Moderna and Merck have scored a breakthrough in cancer vaccine that could allow people with high-risk melanoma to live longer cancer-free.
The medical milestones and shares of both firms skyrocketing overnight. Moderna soaring to a record 180%, though it's still below its COVID-era peak. Merck jumped 13%. The move dealing a blow of $5.5 billion to short sellers who bet on Moderna's decline.
But the companies say their vaccine reduced the risk of recurrence and spread of melanoma, the deadliest form of skin cancer. It's the first positive final stage trial for any mRNA-based cancer therapy. They customize the vaccines based on the patient's specific tumor mutations. An algorithm identifies which are most likely to provoke an immune response, and those are then used to produce a personalized vaccine.
The test was done together with Merck's immunotherapy drug, Keytruda, which is widely used in melanoma treatment. The combination performed better than Keytruda alone, and is the most advanced of several trials testing the approach against a variety of cancers, including lung, bladder, kidney, and pancreatic cancer. The therapy is a key test of whether Moderna's mRNA technology can succeed beyond COVID vaccines. Brandon Wainwright is professor at the Fraser Institute and affiliate professor of the Institute for Molecular Bioscience at University of Queensland. Professor, good to see you on the show. Thanks for joining us. The name in some ways speaks for itself, personalized vaccines, and we had a short explanation as to what it actually means, but can you dumb it down, for us in layman's terms? What is a personalized vaccine and how does it work?
Sure, good morning. So cancer cells change, which is part of why they become cancers. And a personalized vaccine is exploiting those changes in the cancer cell and then trying to boost the immune system so that instead of the cancer hiding from the immune system, it becomes visible to the immune system and and the body itself attacks the cancer and eliminates it. So it's a very powerful new technology.
So when we hear the word personalized, we think expensive. Is there true market, mass market potential, and is it going to be widely available when it gets approval to melanoma patients, not just them, I guess, but others as well?
So I can't really speak to the melanoma vaccine and the commercialization aspects. My experience is in pediatric brain tumors and an mRNA vaccine against children with brain cancer. But these biological treatments generally are quite expensive, but there are many such treatments on the market now, biologics that cost a considerable amount of money. But the health economics of saving people's lives and reducing their hospital stays is also very powerful. So I would expect that from an economic point of view, this would be feasible for both, of course, the companies and, of course, for health systems as well.
And the full phase 3, I believe the results haven't been released or independently peer reviews as of yet. So how excited should we allow ourselves to be right now? And what do we need to see in that data going forward?
Oh, I think, Professor Long, who's based in Sydney, and her colleagues throughout the world have been working in this area for quite some time. There has been a phase 1 study, which is safety. Phase 2, which is a relatively limited number of patients looking for effectiveness. And phase 3 is larger numbers of patients and looking for safety and effectiveness. And I guess what we're looking for, of course, is an extension in survival. And in a disease like melanoma, that means a reduction in the metastases. So both the quality and the quantity of life is what we'd be looking for.
And Professor Wainwright, is it possible to help us with the timelines, so far? I guess it has to be peer-reviewed, tested further, it has to go for approval to the Australian regulator, I suppose, and also to the FDA. Can you give us a sense of how long this process might take?
Yeah, look, I can't, because each country's regulatory approval is different, and presumably this will be in multiple companies and countries rather. So it's difficult for me to make a statement there. I'm sorry, but each country has a different regulatory regime. Sorry.
No worries. And Professor, speaking of the timeline, I wonder each vaccine has to be sort of designed specifically for an individual patient's tumor. How long does it usually take the process to take, and what are the challenges of making this available quickly at scale?
So there are the truly personalised vaccine, where each patient's vaccine is absolutely unique to them, is quite a lot of work. And in our experience and the experience in pancreatic cancer, and I'm certain the same is true in melanoma, from diagnosis to the delivery of the vaccine, it can be done in around 10 weeks, which is quick. And as the field moves forward and we learn more about which parts of the vaccine are operating the most effectively against cancer, then we'll move further and further towards off the shelf. So that will reduce not only the timeline, but also the cost, of course, because there'll be more patients able to be treated with a single batch of vaccine. So the first thing we have to show is that the approach works, and the truly, like the Rolls-Royce equivalent, the truly personalized vaccine is working. And then the process is to make it less specialized, as it were, and more off the shelf. And that, as I said, will bring down both the time and also the price, probably.
And Professor, what will determine whether or not this vaccine can be used for other, I guess the most deadly cancers, which I understand is lung cancer and colorectal cancer as well? What's going to be, is there a deciding factor?
So there are two factors. The first one is the amount of genetic variation in the tumor, which is capable of being targeted by the vaccine. So, for example, the tumor that we work on, the children's brain cancer, has very few changes, but we're imminently, within the next few days, we hope our first patients will be treated with an mRNA vaccine. So the cancers that have more genetic changes will be probably better able to be targeted overall. And there's another part of the biology of cancers that they are very good at hiding from the immune system. And there's a thing we call the tumor microenvironment. So there's all the other cells that are inside the tumor. And some of those actually suppress immune responses. And so the combination of the amount of genetic change and what else is in the tumor will determine success. And we've seen success, obviously, with melanoma, and we've seen some early, really significant success with a difficult tumor like pancreatic cancer. Has been published in the highest journals. And so I treat this whole field with enormous optimism.
And that's very good to hear, Professor. We thank you. We leave it there, and thank you for your time and for the insights into this new vaccine. Brandon Wainwright is professor at the Fraser Institute and affiliate professor from the Institute for Molecular Bioscience at the University of Queensland.